Hi guys, this is John Strong and welcome to this tutorial. Today we're going to speak about the importance of the array modifier. We want to exploit this function, this feature in Blender. In particular, we want to exploit the fit curve. This is that is an option of the array modifier, and to create an equalizer and just create and animate in this way. So animate in this way and exploiting the curve fit of the array modified. Okay, and let's see what we want to do. What we want to do is to so shift S cursor to select it, to move the cursor at the center of the origin of the object. Shift S and Shift A and add a Bezier curve. Okay, select the cube and add a modifier. This is an array, and what we see is that we can select fit curve and select the relative curve, the Bezier curve here, this, and what happened is that when I modify the length of the curve, I will modify the array number. So we want to exploit this feature in Blender to create the equalizer. Okay, so delete this and start with the for cube. Let's scale along the z-axis by 0.1, and we do the same with the y-axis. So hit SY 0.1. Okay, we have so scale the y-axis, and now we want to add a camera. So Shift S and select the camera, going from top view and move back. Okay, just delete this. Okay, hit 0. So just scale, and this will be considered the first band. We want to create 6 bands that are the frequency of the sound frequency of an equalizer. And let's assign a color. Let's say a nice orange, and set the mid value to 2. Okay, and now we want to create other 5 cubes. So Shift D, grab X, let's say 0.4. No. So grab X 0.85. Okay. So Shift D, grab X 0.85. Shift D, grab X 0.85. Just to repeat this procedure. And Shift D, grab X 0.5. Oh, sorry. Grab X 0.85. Shift D, grab X 0.85. Okay, we have to adjust the camera. What we do now is to select the camera and adjust the focal length. Okay, this way. And select this and move down. Okay. So now we move the cursor to the center of this object by Shift S, cursor to line, and we add a Bezier curve. This way we rotate along the y-axis RY90. Okay, just name this cube. And, let's say it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we do the same with the curve. Let's say C1. and shift D grab X 0.85, C2, shift D grab X 0.85. So just repeat quickly. Okay, rename C6, C5, oops, C4, C3. Okay, now we're going to add a modifier by selecting, pay attention, selecting the cube. So add modifier, in this case, this is the cube we were working on previously, and select C1 for this. Sorry, and select CC1. So what is really important when you are going to animate something, create animation, it's important to understand which is its relative system, the relative axis. So select the cube here and enable the axis. How we can see, in this case, we have scaled the cube, so it's not a nice view, but here this one is the z-axis, and along the z-axis we want to create the array. So here in the modifier, set 0 the x-axis, and let's say 0.2 the z-axis, and select fit curve. Okay, now we are going to create the first frames. So we have to add just another panel. So here we have the timeline, and this one will be the top sheet. And for the curve, I'm going to look the x and y scale, because I'm working with just one parameter. The parameter will be the z scale, and that will allow to make easy to work with the graph editor. But we'll see this after. So I'm going to create the first frame, and let's set the z scale as 10, and as you can see, we have created the first array, and hit I, okay, and to create, as you can see here, enlarge this view by Control up arrow, and we have created the first keyframe for the C1 curve. And we repeat this operation, creating the first frames for the others. So select this, and select C2, and set this to 0, and this to 1.2. The keyframes in this case, oops, sorry, I have to select the curve, look the axis, and set this as 6, and hit I. Okay, now go here, so fit curve, sheet 3 this time, 0, and 1.2. Set the curve, and let's say z as 60, hit I. This time we'll set 20. I'm going to quickly here because it's repetitive. C4, 1.2. Okay. C5, 1.2. Set 0 and 1.2. Okay. Hi. Okay, let's enlarge the graph editor, and we see the first frames for the 6 curves. And we're going to work just with the parameter, the scale parameter. That is the most important that we want to do. Okay. So minimize this view by control down arrow, and back to this view, and let's create now another frames of 10. Okay, so set this as 20. Die. This will be 9. I. This 10. Remember to select not the cube but the curve, because the curve controls the array of the cube. Let's say 25. Let's say 2. Okay, we have created these the first frames for the 6 curves, and now we are not going to repeat this operation, but we are going to work with the graph editor. Let's see how. So change the timeline from this panel from the timeline to the graph editor. When we magnify this view by Control up arrow. And let's start work with the curve C6. Okay, so deselect the other and select this. We don't want all these 3 channels, just the Z scale. So we are working on just one parameter. So this is the reason why I've looked for the curve, the X and Y scale. Because just I'm going to work just with one curve, the Z scale curve. Okay, and in this case hit N, so the Z scale, and add a modifier, let's say cycle. What do we want to create? An animation composed of 200 frames. Okay, so set in the timeline, so, change the top sheet to timeline, and set here 200. Magnify the graph editor panel, and so what we see, we can play with this modifiers, really nice effects, and set the 0 cycles before the 0 frame. And here we can select the number, just the number of the curves we want to repeat. What we can do is to select this and shift the grab. We create another frame here, and rotate as we want. We can create a curve. Okay, we can modify as we want our curve. Okay, let's apply this effect to the curve 6. Deselect this and select curve 5. So we're going to deselect the scaling channel, just select the Z channel. Pay attention, if you don't select the Z scale, or just see this one, let's say just this one, the add modifier is not enabled. So select this and the add modifier is enabled, and in this case we're going to modify this curve by manually. Okay, that's Shift D, grab, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D. Okay. Okay, for this C5, we'll have this effect. You select this, select C4, and repeat this operation. And in this case, we're going to play with another modifier. So the hit A to deselect, hit so hit B, select this, and shift D. Okay, this will be my curve that I want to repeat along the x-axis. So set no cycle before 0 and repeat motion with offset, let's say. And sorry, so select this Z-scale, cycle, no cycle here, and we're going to repeat with the offset. Can mirrored, it's nice. We can also add another modifier, let's say noise. Add. You can work with this parameter as you wish. You can have fun, enjoy this add modifier, and can create other effect, but you can try as you want. Let's say this, and go to C3, and I select this, that's the Z scale. Add a modifier. We're going to see how to play with built-in function. Built-in function allows to select as a function as a sinusoid, cosinusoid, tangents. Let's say tangent. What happens is a really nice effect. And here you can change the amplitude, the phase, the offset, the value. So let's go around 10. Okay. And you can also add noise. Okay. Go to C2. Now we go to C2 and just repeat the operation, same operation. This time I prefer to create by myself the curve. Just shift D. Okay, this way. And also for the C1. And also for the C1, select just the C scale. Deselect this. Add a modifier. No, we don't want any modifiers, so hit A to deselect and hit B. Select this, shift D. Okay, so we have created the all the frames for the 6 curves. Let's check everything. So we have created this channel for the curve 6. Okay, curve 5 this one, curve 4, curve 3 is our crazy tangent behavior, C2. And here we have also this, and we have just select this X scale and delete these FX. Okay, and something, let's say, I'll delete this, and because we have created the cube frames by manually. So delete this. Okay. So now it should work. And sorry. Sorry for that. Just create again. I've deleted the modifier, so Shift D, we create again the curves. Sorry. And this is the tree C2. And in C2 there is something that doesn't work, like the X scale. Delete this. I never created this. I don't know, sometime my Blender get crazy. And okay, now is okay. And for C1 we have this X scale. Delete this modifier. Okay, now it works. Let's see everything. So we have this BA, we have this BA, and for the C3 curve, really I want to apply the tangent effect that are really nice. So we're going to add a modifier just for this channel. So for this channel, we are going to work with C3, add the modifier, and set the cycle. Oh, sorry. And what we have to do is this time add a built-in function, and the tangent, the value set, we move up around 12, okay, this way, and we can enjoy with moving this parameter, playing with this parameter. Okay, so what happens? What happens is that you see how the equalizer works. So now what you can do is to create an equalizer, and we can do by adding a kind of portrait here. So we don't need any more these panels. So I'm going to join these two and these two, okay? And I'm going to add the Shift A. So select move the cursor here and Shift A cut, Bezier cut, okay? And in edit mode, so hit W subdivide. So select this, hit W subdivide, rotate by 90. This, and I grab it here. Okay. Now, sorry, I select this. I'm going to extrude along x-axis and extrude along the x-axis again. Move down, rotate by 90, 90, and what we do. So if we want to create just this portrait, and let's apply for this curve. We're going to apply a modifier, the mirror modifier, along the z-axis. Okay, and bet what's up, let's say this. Let's apply the mirror with having reference as reference the camera. So apply mirror and with the reference to camera along the z-axis, not sorry along the y-axis. Why the y? Because as I previously said, it's really important to have always as reference the relative systems. In this case, the relative system of the camera, because the camera has the y-axis up, so we have to apply a mirror for this curve along the y-axis. Okay, disable, and just I'm going to okay. Now what we do is Shift A, and we add a circle, RX90, scale 0.5, and let's scale 0.8 again. Grab here and select the curve. We go to select the bevel option, the Bezier curve. We have that this is one, and we have created a portrait. We can just portrait. Sorry. We can adjust the sides of this portrait by modifying the sides of the circle. Let's scale a little bit. Okay. And now what we do is to adjust the curve along these sides, this view, sorry. So select this, and we are going to rotate. Okay. From top view, select this, rotate. Okay, control, hit control to move the curve in a better way. Rotate. Okay. Rotate control. Okay. So I move this. Yeah. Side view. Okay. Front view. And I don't like this one. Let's go. Okay, now it's better. Maybe grab here. Try to center. Okay. And what we do is to now. Sorry. It is to Shift A in the plane. Rotate X90. And the scale SX. Okay, this way, and from the top view we move back. Okay. So now remember that we want to have this one. So what we need is to add a texture to the plane. This for the background, and add also, if you want, I'll show you how to apply text on this curve. And but first, what we can do is to we have to transform this curve from into a mesh. So let's leave the default number 12, and now select object, convert, and you can see how to gain it by hit Alt C. Okay, so we have now we have a mesh. and select this plane, and we are going to add texture. So select the material and apply a texture. As you want, you can find a lot of texture online. In this case, we're going to select our image, and let's okay, this one, and we go to the UV editing, and hit Z on our keyboard, and go in edit mode by hit tab view. Going to open the image, this one, and hit U, project from view bounds. Okay, so we can see how it comes out. Okay. Now we go back to the default, and here we have to select image sampling, mapping, the next step. Let's say 4, and mapping, we select the UV. Okay. Now what we do is do Shift A to add a text, and arc 90. Go in edit mode and name what you want. I name John Strong, my username, and going to scale a little bit. Okay. Now what we do is add modify. What we can do is to add a shrink ramp effect, and its target be the Bezier curve, and select the offset. So we have some problem, just scale, apply an offset. Okay. Now works. So we have scaled this name, maybe is better. Nice view. We have applied the project along the z-axis with negative versus, because the reference is this one. As we can see, the z-axis versus up is this one. We want the negative versus towards the Bezier curve, the portrait. So now what we have to do, we have to set the lights. I am going to add a light here to let's say, yeah, I mean, rotate by -90, R90, oh sorry, hit R -90, hit R90, and set this value to 0.3. Let's say 2. Let's say 2, and always a nice orange. And I go from the top view, delete this lamp, and here I'm going to add a spotlight R90, sorry, R -90. And in this case we set the energy 0.2. Okay, let's render. Okay, this is our render, and we have just the camera. So we're going to adjust the camera by changing the focal length. Let's render again. And what we can see for the name, you can also set material as you wish. Okay, so is my mobile, and in this case I'm going to set a screen. And render again. We can just increase the light as 0.8. Let's see what happens. Okay, we have also joined a nice view, but texture there for the plane doesn't work. So we have some problem with the texture. What we can see is to go here, set this one as 0, and set repeat along the x-axis. Let's say 4. And say 1, please. And we render again. So this is a nice effect. Okay. Okay, guys. We can stop here this tutorial. I've given you which is my technique. I showed you. I have shown you. Okay, guys, we can stop here. I've shown you which is my technique, and so thanks for your attention. See you next tutorial. Bye. Okay, about the text, you can just I think adjust by scaling as you want, and so with the Alt A we see the simulation, and what we see is that there is some problem with the curve third with the curve 3. So we enlarge this view and select oops, it's not the right one. We want the graph editor, and we select, see, we just are going to work with this one, and the tangent causes some problems because this peak is too negative, it's too positive here. So hit 10 and let's say to change the amplitude. Okay, but in 20 hundreds keyframes we have this one with that we don't want. So what we can do is to move this peak let's say in 200. Okay, this is good. We can this maybe is too high, so what we can do, change the amplitude in this way. So we have this is the minimum value, this is the maximum, is about 25. Now it should work. Let's try. Okay, works. Oops, maybe there is always problems. The tangent is not the right curve, I think, because presents has a lot of peaks. Oops, there is 200. This one. So what we have to do is to decrease the amplitude again. And okay, maybe this one. So we have this peak that doesn't. We have too many peaks. Just one here, one here, one here is a negative. So with your additive and with the additive, just what we can do is to increase the amplitude. Okay, we have taken the original curve and I've changed in this way. So let's see if it works. Now it seems it works nice in band 3. Okay, because we don't have a lot of peaks. So what we do now is to add just music, a nice music, and we go to the video editing. We add the scene and we add sound. Grab the second line and Alt A and see if it works. Okay. It's low because my computer is low, but don't care about it. Will work, and in the default we can set the parameters to create the sound as background, and you set the MPEG and set the encoding. Here you can select the format. Okay, I hope this tutorial was nice for you and above all useful. So that's all. See you next time, guys. Bye.